Good day, LaSallians! The return of face-to-face classes brings with it the return of the expenses that come with on-campus learning. With this, the Multi-Sectoral Consultative Committee on Tuition Fees, consisting of parents, admin, faculty, students, and other academic personnel of De La Salle University, has decided on a 3% increase on tuition fees, along with a return to pre-pandemic miscellaneous charges. In order to cope with the country's rising inflation rate, and the university's deficit reaching almost 700 million pesos at its peak in 2021, a multi-sectoral committee composed of representatives from DLSU stakeholders has decided to implement a tuition fee increase for academic year 2022 to 2023. At a vote of 2 to 3, the student body, represented by the university student government, and the parents, represented by the parents of the University Students' Organization, or DLSU PUSO, voted against the increase, while the DLSU Employees Association, Association of Faculty and Educators of DLSU, or AFED, and the University Administration voted in favor. This change has been a long time coming, as there has not only been no increase in tuition since the pandemic began, but tuition fees for the last couple years have even been at a discount.
Many businesses stopped operating at the beginning of the pandemic, and we know that's going to affect the livelihood of many of the families of our students. So the university took it upon itself to try to help out the families of our students by not having a tuition fee increase for the past 2 years.
LaSallians will be seeing a 3% increase per unit in their tuition fee, a percentage aligned to the inflation rate the country experienced in the previous year. With this, students will have to brace themselves for the next academic year's fees, as inflation rates are expected to rise even further next year. But the most notable change comes in when looking at the miscellaneous fees the university is set to impose. Now that in-person operations have resumed, so too will the expenses associated with campus upkeep.
Roughly, the discount we gave is around 30%. So our miscellaneous right now would probably it will move up to around 10,000 from around 8,000, 7,000.
Each LaSallian on average is expected to pay an extra 1,296 pesos for the minimum 12 units taken in a trimester, with an additional 2,787 pesos on top of that due to the revert on miscellaneous fees. This amounts to a total of 12,549 pesos of extra expense for all 3 trimesters this academic year. That said, the university will continue to provide its grant and scholarship programs in order to offset the effects of these increases, with over 20% of the student body benefiting from these. We'll also see the return of the Student Assistantship and Resource Training Program, or START, to give more students the chance to offset some of their tuition.
START is going to restart.
Responding to the Multi-Sectoral Committee's decision, USG President Georgina Escoto stated that the USG opposes any form of tuition fee increase during their State of Student Government address. The USG drafted a proposal for a 0% increase in tuition fees for the entirety of academic year 2022 to 2023. The student government conducted surveys on the potential for increases and came to the conclusion that both the shift to F not helping the financial difficulties students face, as well as the influx of new students, were enough to justify 0 increases in fees. The university saw a 67% uptick in freshman enrollees just last year. The USG, in the face of the incoming fee increase, asked that the university maintain all scholarships, waive any possible surcharges that may incur, completely revamp the START program for a post-pandemic environment, and extend deadlines for the dropping of courses post-enrollment. Escoto also pressed on the lack of a formal announcement of the increase from the university, wanting the student body to be aware of any and all changes that affect them. While fully opposing the 3% increase, the USG president pledged to continue talks with the university on the matter of tuition, as well as developing their own plans to help students cope with the larger fees. The USG is looking into a LaSallian Community Assistance Program, where alumni sponsor individual students, as well as a program specifically for student leaders.
We plan on implementing this all within term 1. This is what I can promise right now. Na term 1, this can be implemented.
It seems our return to campus leaves both the university and us LaSallians with new challenges to cope with. This has been Joaquin Olalia, reporting for Arch News. Animo LaSalle.